Hi folks. In October 2017, a half-century-old watch achieved a new record price at auction. Now, the stellar price achieved wasn't probably just down to the watch itself, but the fact that it had been previously owned and regularly worn by the superstar Paul Newman. Indeed, the Rolex Daytona, the 1968 Rolex Daytona 6239, was so commonly associated with the star that it had achieved the nickname the Paul Newman. Now, that watch achieved £17.75 million. But even examples not touched by Mr. Newman's stardust still regularly now achieve six-figure sums. Now, I'm never going to be able to afford a watch like that. They're very scarce anyway. Perhaps less than 3,000 of them were made, and not all of them with the same dial as Mr. Newman's. But my goodness, I've found quite a convincing alternative. Can't wait to show you this watch. I bought it a couple of years ago.
No folks, this isn't my watch. I wish it was. This is a genuine Detona 6239. And I just want you to see how similar these watches are by showing you the real one first. Here at last is the watch itself. You can see how similar it is to the original. It comes on an oyster style bracelet, and I've left that on here to show you, just to see what it looks like, but I don't usually wear it. You can see the drilled lugs and the signed crown and the signed stamped bracelet clasp, which is the weakest part. Here we can see the bracelet. It looks alright. It's a brushed version of an oyster bracelet with solid links and screw-in adjusters, so you can take the links out. It does have adjustment places on the stamped clasp. It does, however, have hollow end links, and it's a little bit rattly, although not too bad, and I have seen worse. The edges are sharp, and it's when you get to the stamped clasp that it really lets itself down. It's not a nice tactile experience. It's sharp, light and flimsy. For that reason, I don't really use the bracelet. In fact, I don't wear the watch on the bracelet, and I'm going to slip the bracelet off to show you the watch in a better light. At the moment, I wear the Alpha on a soft leather strap that I took off a movement watch, and I can tell you that the strap complements the Alpha much better than it did the movement. If we have a wee look at the side here, we can see the lovely case shape and the drilled lugs, which make changing the strap out dead easy. Over the back here, you can see the ST 1903 movement in action. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I like the blued screws and the decorated bridges, and you can see the column wheel there as well, off to the 3 o'clock position. I can sit for ages just watching those cogs go round. I think it's just absolutely stunning. Moving back to the front of the watch, you can see it's got a Hesselite crystal, and you can see some scratches that I put in it that I haven't buffed out yet. To be perfectly honest, they don't bother me very much because I'm quite reassured by the fact that I can do that, unlike with a glass crystal. Comparing the Alpha Chronograph with the Newman Daytona, it's quite obvious that the Alpha is a direct copy. The visual similarity is really close, but there are some differences as well. Looking at the similarities and differences, if we turn the watch on its side, you can see that the Alpha Chronograph, just like the Newman Daytona, has a domed plexiglass crystal. In fact, I've picked up a few scratches on mine. The Newman Daytona is quite a bit smaller than the Alpha Chronograph. The Alpha Chronograph has a case diameter of 39mm, whereas the Newman Daytona has a case diameter of 36mm. Likewise, the Alpha is a little bit thicker. It's 16mm compared with the Newman Daytona's 14mm. As is common at the time, watches were a bit smaller, although the Newman Daytona as a tool watch was a bit bigger than the dress watches of the era. If you want a watch like this for yourself, it might not be as easy as it was for me. I bought this a few years ago when eBay was full of adverts for these Alpha Chronographs, but nowadays, as you'll see, the prices being asked for them is a little more ambitious. I think there must have been a shortage at some point. But I had a look, and Alpha's Europe website is advertising the watch at a far more reasonable price. So I suggest that if you want one, you go on there and see if you can pick one up. Thanks a lot. Bye bye for now.